This story comes from the pages of Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe One Last Time, issue number 2. Please support the official release. Explosions erupt, screams echo in the night, and, standing in the wreckage, snarling and dripping with rage, is Venom. But something's off. Deadpool narrows his eyes. This isn't the Venom I know. He's bigger, meaner, twisted, a doppelganger. Deadpool fights dirty, kicking, slicing, blasting, but Venom isn't going down easy. Each bullet, absorbed. Each blade, shrugged off. Deadpool then begins to speak. I can't tell you how much I've missed these dueling voices in my skull. He's talking to himself again. Or is it? To us? Venom lashes out, but Wade's got other plans. He sets up an explosion that engulfs them both in fire and fury. When the smoke clears, we see this Venom was Spider-Man's demonic clone doppelganger, who soon realized that he was next. Deadpool then presses his gun to the demon's head. Symbiotes don't like fire, and I bet you don't like. And just like that, Doppelganger goes limp. On his quest to finally end himself and the misery he caused his world, the only thing on Deadpool's mind is, who's next? From the flames, a hologram appears. Alfie, Deadpool's ever-sarcastic mission handler. She warns him, the job's not done, and it's not getting easier. Deadpool then kneels before Doppelganger's corpse. His tone shifts, briefly, from chaotic to contemplative. Every name I cross off this list saves a universe, but not mine. Wade would then search for his next weapon that would aid in his multiversal murder spree, that weapon being the still living symbiote from before. Things then cut to the nation of Wakanda, where we see that even here there was something deeply wrong with this world. In walks this kingdom's ruler, where instead of being the affable T'Challa, we see that this Black Panther was the cruel and merciless Killmonger. He's told Deadpool is back, where he laughs saying that this is impossible, as he had killed the mercenary himself when Wakanda began its global conquest. Global conquest? Did that involve the conquest of your hairline, sir? What happened there? Despite giving a rough and tough bad guy monologue, Killmonger would soon realize how wrong he was, where we'd see a spear pierce him right through the mouth, killing him instantly. This would be the work of Deadpool, who had used his new symbiote friend to disguise himself as a temple guard, giving him easy access to this brutal dictator. So is that technically blackface that Deadpool just did? No, I mean, cause the symbiote is black, right? I mean, hey, we gave Robert Downey Jr. a pass in Tropic Thunder. I think we can give Ryan Reynolds one too. It would seem Deadpool actually did this Wakanda a favor, as the people actually seemed quite relieved that Killmonger was dead, where Wade then prepared to take down his next twisted target. As Wade would continue the massacre, Alfie reveals a truth. Someone is building an army. Not of heroes, not even villains, but the worst possible versions of both of them from across the multiverse. Deadpool, he's not trying to be a hero. He only agreed to this mission as it sounded like a surefire way to get himself killed. And so, he stays, and he slays, and slays, and slays again. Things then cut to the Hydra helicarrier, where we see blood spill and bodies drop. Deadpool slicing through Hydra agents, where the real boss fight begins. Captain America, Hydra Supreme. But there is more to this Cap than meets the eye. He transforms into the snarling, monstrous Cap Wolf, which is still less monstrous than him being an actual Nazi. He gives the other non-Nazi werewolves a very bad name. Giving his all against the Wolfman, Wade would realize that no amount of ferocity was going to work here, for he would need silver bullets to kill a creature like this. Not exactly being next to a silver bullets are us, Wade would be overpowered by the monster, who leapt upon him and tore into his flesh. The Merc would take advantage of this opening by piercing the brute with his sword, where he would then pick him up and take the next best thing to silver, which would be tossing the monster into the rotating helicarrier propeller, turning poor Cap into a nice beet red smoothie. Looking on at the devastation, Alfie asked if Deadpool was alright, where, much to his disappointment, was upset that despite being bitten by a werewolf, would not turn into one himself due to his healing factor. Saying that Cap Wolf, well, at least half of him, was still alive, Wade then apologized to the pup, where he then grabbed him once more and tossed him into the fan, turning him into giant, bloody, and furry Chris Evans chunks. This honestly may be worse than his death in Deadpool and Wolverine. Poor guy. Realizing that their great captain was now mincemeat, the remaining Hydra army then attacked Wade, where he then grabbed Steve's shield and proceeded to tear into the men, where he then began to discuss with the voices in his head. Just why was he on this mission? He was in such a hurry to off himself that he never stopped to ask just why was he killing yet another world. Just then, a spark of energy would envelop the man, where he'd be taken to yet another location. Near the end of this issue, Alfie teases the existence of a larger threat behind all of this. A name. Flux Paradoxica. Someone or something was pulling the strings behind the scenes. They're assembling multiversal monsters, unleashing incursions, destroying timelines. And Deadpool, he's the scalpel they're using to cut the veins of reality. We then witness the ruins of the Xavier Institute. Deadpool approaches slowly. The halls are torched. The gates are broken. There's no laughter, no students, just death. He grips his blades, takes a breath, and steps into the ashes of the very place that once gave him hope.